Hello everybody. I know I haven't done a video in a couple of weeks, but it's been kind of a crazy couple of weeks. But I have been working on this RV. I just haven't had a lot of time to video. So I have worked on cutting out the dry rot. So you can see where it was coming down there pretty well. You can actually still see light through there if you look. Where the exterior needs to be sealed up more. But got pretty much all the bad stuff cut out there, so I'm going to restructure that, which won't be a big deal. I have painted the countertops kind of this neutral gray color, which looked much better than that weird mustardy yellow thing that was going on before. And I've got to get a little comet or something there in the sink to get that off. The stovetop, that was steel, but I couldn't get it to polish up or clean up really nicely, so I hit it with 3 coats of high temp white engine enamel, so I think that'll work well. And then barbecue grill black for the grates, so I think it looks okay. Should be good for right now. And I also did the table in the same color, as well as re-glued on the beading around the outside that was falling off of it. I'm kind of going with a white, gray, black sort of color scheme. The floor still. Yeah, that's going to be the last thing I'm going to do, because everything else I do here, it's all going to fall to the floor. So that'll be the last thing I work on. But what that's going to get is a kind of a gray washed oak sort of a fake laminate that I'm going to put in here, which I think will go pretty well with the gray and white kind of color scheme I'm going with. The ceiling, I'm actually going to use some contact adhesive on this fabric that I bought, which is kind of, again, a nice neutral color. The idea behind that is it's going to be glued to the ceiling, and it will help conceal my spots where I've had to patch in. There was a cabinet here. I don't think I'm going to put one back because I don't really think I need it there. I was thinking it might be a nice spot to maybe just have a little shelf or maybe a couple of little hooks or something. But I don't think I'm going to put a cabinet back there. The back of this, I'm going to go with some adhesive backsplash. It's kind of a faux stone looking thing I've ordered. I've got a lot of stuff coming on Amazon I'm still waiting for. But that's going to go along here. And I'm, of course, going to reseal this with some paintable silicone. I've taken the hood down and cleaned, nice English, James. Cleaned and painted that. Gave it 3 coats of shiny black, so it should look pretty good when it's back up. Lube the motor, everything works on it. It's got a new bulb in it. I took down that dated light fixture that was here. I'm thinking of getting like an LED under cabinet light. I've got some like it in my kitchen that work really well. I'm thinking of putting one of those here. But today, oh yes, we have a little dry rot up here we're fixing as well. So same idea. But what we're going to do today is I'm going to try to paint some of this horrible brown and liven this thing up a bit. So got to pull this off, got to pull the light fixtures off. I think these I will keep on for now because I want this to be functional for camping in a couple of weeks. So I'll replace those later with some sort of LED light strips. But I got a little bit behind on what I was doing because of the plumbing. Oh, let's talk about the plumbing. So I knew originally it had a leak underneath. In fact, you can see that little green garden hose there. Yeah, it was leaking like crazy from there. So I replaced it, and kind of everywhere you see a piece of solder is another place where it leaked. So in every attempt to seal those up, I found another leak. And it looks like all the low spots in the plumbing, because it was copper plumbing, all the low spots probably froze because they had water in them, and so they've all cracked. So I'm going to have to probably replumb the whole thing. I was hoping to get it patched up enough for the camping in a couple of weeks, but we may just have to limp it along. I'll see what happens. So that's how that's going. Door panels, I'm actually going to highlight those in the same color, so that'll kind of offset the ceiling situation. But anyways, today we're going to paint cabinets and doors. So let's get to it. Oh, also bought a fire extinguisher Not sure where I want to hang that. I'm going to replace the 110 outlets that are... What is that going by? Lawnmower. Okay. I'm going to replace the 110 outlets that look a little bit sketchy with some very nice USB ported outlets. So that should be handy. And I've also bought... Oh my gosh, what the heck? You guys got a skid loader right here. Okay. I bought a couple of these 12-volt digital voltmeters. I bought two because I one for the underhood battery and one for the RV battery. And I think I may mount those down here somewhere, since this is kind of the electrical area. So that's the plan so far. So let's get to some painting. Well guys, it's about 4 hours later, and this is how far 1 gallon of paint gets us on this thing. This wood is super thirsty. It looks like it's covered, and you look an hour later and it looks a little patchy again, so I'm definitely going to have to get more paint. But certainly does brighten it up in here, doesn't it? Not the best lighting. It's just getting dark, and I just finished this can, so. But you get the idea. It's going to be a much brighter place when we get done here. I've not painted about 4 or 5 inches up off the ground because I know when I'm laying in the laminate, that's going to get banged up, so I paint it twice. And these bedding systems kind of come out of here, so I'm going to have to pull those out and paint those separately. That's the same for there and there. But the cabinets were one of the big things I wanted to get done. All the doors have been painted. I've cleaned the hinges. I'm going to paint those black. And I'm going to see what to do with the latches. I may use the old latches if I paint the black and see how they look. I may use them just for the time being, just so I can have this thing functional, but kind of wanted to go with something a little different later on. But that is the update so far. We will see you all next time.